The $1 billion strategy hidden in an ancient war tactic. Business and warfare have always shared a deep connection. The greatest generals and the most successful entrepreneurs think alike. But what if I told you that $1 billion business strategy was hidden inside an ancient war tactic? The ancient war tactic, the indirect approach. In ancient battles, the most successful generals rarely attacked head-on. Instead, they used the indirect approach, outmaneuvering their enemies, cutting off their resources, and striking where they were least expected. This strategy didn't just win battles, it built empires. One of the most famous examples comes from Sun Tzu's The Art of War. He taught that the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Instead of brute force, he focused on deception, speed, and controlling the battlefield. The business parallel, beating competition without fighting. Now, let's talk about business. Some of the biggest companies in the world didn't win by competing directly. They used the indirect approach. 1. Uber versus the taxi industry. Uber didn't challenge the taxi industry by fighting for licenses or lobbying. Instead, they created an entirely new system that made taxis obsolete. While regulators were busy controlling taxi permits, Uber's app was already changing the world. 2. Netflix versus Blockbuster. Netflix didn't open video rental stores to compete with Blockbuster. They removed late fees, introduced streaming, and eliminated the need for physical stores. Blockbuster never saw it coming. 3. Apple versus Nokia. When Apple entered the phone market, Nokia was the king. But Apple didn't compete on hardware alone. They changed the game by turning phones into a platform for apps and software. Nokia focused on better phones, while Apple focused on building an entire ecosystem. How you can apply this $1 billion strategy. The biggest wins in business come from outmaneuvering, not overpowering. Here's how you can use this strategy. 1. Identify the weakness in the existing system. Every industry has a weakness. Taxi companies had bad customer service. Blockbuster had late fees. Nokia ignored software. Find the gap and exploit it. 2. Change the battlefield. Instead of competing where your rivals are strongest, move the fight to where they are weakest. Uber didn't compete in taxi regulation. Apple didn't compete on hardware alone. They shifted the game entirely. 3. Focus on speed, not size. Big companies move slow. Startups win by moving fast, experimenting, and taking risks that giants are too afraid to take. Final lesson. The best strategy is the one they never see coming. Business, like war, is about winning without fighting. The greatest companies don't compete harder. They compete smarter. If you can change the battlefield, you can change the game, and that's how billion-dollar empires are built. Want to learn more game-changing strategies? Like, share, and subscribe to Vantage Aditya for powerful business insights every week.